Good morning everybody, and welcome to Madness Manor. Welcome to a in-studio video. I'm just getting comfortable, just be careful whilst I talk about. The chair leans back like a rocking horse. Right, today's video I'm making from the studio primarily because this morning I weighed in at 199.6 pounds. That's over 40 pounds of fat loss since, was it the middle of August when I started? Anyway, chuffed to bits. I'm not saying it's been easy, but it's not been particularly difficult. You know, I've had my moments, and so that's why I'm making the video today. There's a little personal celebration of over 40 pound fat loss, and I know some of the guys have commented in videos I've made about fat loss about their journey, and you know, I haven't posted about it because I've not really felt there's been much to celebrate, but I believe there is now. If you're on a fat loss journey, get your support and get whatever you need, but I believe I will live longer. That's it. So yesterday, whilst we're talking about health, I stopped taking my pain meds. I thought, well, am I a slave to pain meds? So I had this clever dick idea of not taking my pain meds, so I stopped taking my pain meds yesterday, and this morning I can't walk through the blooming house. So I've had some pain meds and they'll kick in, and hopefully I'll be out for coffee outside on the bike this morning. Beautiful day. What else? Oh, my Ely Cathedral being kicked out's been a very emotive video. Times have changed. The Bible hasn't, Scripture hasn't, but times have changed. I've turned off comments on that video. I don't give a monkeys what you say to me. I made my video and I stand by whatever I said, but I haven't made a video so you, my subscribers, can be treated in such an unchristian way in the comments. So I've deleted comments pointed at you guys. So I've turned comments off, and I don't. Deleting comments I don't do. The most I have done in the past on the channel is stop people from commenting. But this was getting very personal towards some people who had commented, and we seem to live in this British society now where he who shouts the loudest is the only opinion that is correct. Unfortunately, that's the society we're living in, and God help us, because a lot of these people aren't so nice. So that aside, trips. Personal challenge. I've got a personal challenge, and my personal challenge is this. Can you read that? This is the Rhine cycle route, Eurovelo 15. I want to ride some of that and camp. I thought my camping days were over. I thought my bike touring days were over because of pain. I camped, one of the videos I did in Sandringham campsite in the air tent. And it was it this summer? Either this summer or last summer. It took me 3 hours to put the tent away. And I was in tears trying to pack the tent. I was in so much pain. I was in tears, and it's an air tent, and believe me, an air tents are so easy to pitch. I deflated the tent and pulled half the pegs, and at that point I was going to go to the warden and say, look, I can't do this. Not can't isn't a word in my vocabulary. There is a way. So I did take the tent down. I was in excruciating agony. I was in tears, and and I thought that was it. So I went to see the quack, and and I got all the stuff about being fat and age and arthritis and job you did, and well, it's all history, that is. What are you going to do for me today? Hence the pain meds. Hence my losing weight, because allied to that was seeing people younger than me who were incredibly far less able than I am, and they were fatter than me. That's not fat shaming, because fat is fat. Don't pretend it isn't. So the Rhine, that's on the list. I'm going to go. It's in stages. It's on 27 stages or 28 stages. I'm going to get down to Cologne or Cologne in Germany and cycle it back to Rotterdam. Camping. And I guess I'll do it on a conventional Brompton. I may go on the touring bike, I don't know. I fancy doing the conventional Brompton, because if it is too heavy going, I can fold it up, go on a bus or a train and come home. But that's on the other hand, I could go on the doors touring bike, and if it gets too much, I can just lean it on a wall, not at a church, and put a note on it saying help yourself, and come home that way. Because if I can't ride the Cologne, there's no point having touring bike and touring kit. Can't ride the Rhine. So that's my thinkings. Here in Nottinghamshire, those who do go cycle camping, here in Nottinghamshire, the Caravan Camping Club have purchased a caravan site near Nottingham, and it was called, it's near Cotgrave, Stragglethorpe, Thornton's Holt caravan site. Wasn't a particularly, it was, whatever caravan site it was, I never went, because I used to cycle past it and thought, well, it looks okay, but anyway, I didn't go. But the Caravan Camping Club have bought that, or Camping and Caravan Club. So that means 8, 9, 10 quid a night camping for backpackers and cycle tourists, and it actually fills a gap in the area for. I mean, everything's affordable. You can, everything's affordable. You can pay whatever you want to pay, or as much as you want to pay. But 20 odd quid for a backpacking tent, in my book, is taking the mick. So Caravan and Camping, or Camping and Caravan Club, have standards. Site to their standard. 10 quid a night, it's a no-brainer. So that's going to be a camp, and that's probably going to be on 65 at the end of March. So I think that'll be a ride from home and a camp and a ride back the next day. Assuming I can ride the bike the next day. So that's going to be a camp for me. That'll be after I'm 65. That'll be probably April, May, first decent day we get, where it's not going to be less than 8 degrees at night. I'll go. So that should be interesting. If anyone's done this Rhine, let me know. And I'm not going to do 35 miles a day, because I want to stop and look at stuff. I don't mind doing 30 miles a day. That's essentially 3.5 hours in the saddle. But I like to, everything there is, I like to look at stuff. You only come this way once, and I'll go and have a look. I don't need to take the bike into Cologne Cathedral, because I've been without the bike. It's another interesting thing. We've got Christmas looming, And last year I read in a newspaper that only 40%, let me just have a good size espresso of that, only 43% of the country are Christian. And Christmas. That's strange, because we all see what happens at Christmas. What else I want to talk about? That's it really. Madness Manor's cold and miserable outside. Wrap up. I bought a new coat. I'm going to show you that on a video in its own right. I'm quite impressed with that. It's not a cycling kit, it's an equine coat. Cambridge, you've seen the Cambridge stuff. God, that was a great trip. That was a fantastic trip. I had a fantastic day with the bike, getting it converted. Cambridge is a fantastic city. Funnily enough, Cambridge is billed as one of our finest cycling cities. And it is and it isn't. It's certainly got some amazing cycling infrastructure. The new cycling infrastructure is absolutely second to none. But as you're riding around, the older cycling infrastructure is beginning to crumble. Wasn't built to any great standard, but it was cycling infrastructure. So if you do go to Cambridge, you know, marvel at some of the amazing stuff. And just think, well, it's not all. I mean, Mansfield's cycling infrastructure's crumbling really in a terrible state. And that's how it's going to be forever, I guess, and never get any better. What prompted me to talk about Cambridge was Saga in the summer apparently did a survey on the 10 most cycle friendly cities for the over 50s. Norwich is number one. I lived in Norwich for a while and worked in Norwich. I also rode a bike around Norwich, and it was far from cycle friendly, but that was back in probably 1980, late 80s. So things have obviously, so I wouldn't want to go back to Norwich. That's on the list to do. Nottingham's come fourth, and obviously I'm in all the local Nottingham cycle groups and forums and that, and Nottingham gets slagged off by the locals, and in some cases quite rightly too. But it has got some amazing cycling infrastructure. You can have a good long weekend cycling around Nottingham, looking at history and enjoying the cycle routes. Unless you want to go to Sherwood, of course. That's what I call the forgotten quarter, because Sherwood is probably the worst access into Nottingham and doesn't have any cycling infrastructure whatsoever. So whether that's because the people in charge don't live in Sherwood, I guess that's correct. I guess the university is well serviced by cycle routes, and so it should be. So you look Beeston and that sort of Trent Valley through Nottingham and West Bridgeford, all that superb cycling infrastructure. But you come the north side of the city and it's certainly the forgotten quarter, even out towards Hucknall, which is a provincial suburb, I guess, of Nottingham now. It used to be a town on its own right, but it's very much part of Nottingham and Bulwell. It's you take your life, your life's at the mercy of inconsiderate drivers cycling in from Bulwell or Hucknall, and if you're cycling from Sherwood, you're incredibly brave or stupid. I sometimes cycling from Sherwood, and I'm consider myself in the stupid category, because every time I ride down there I think I'm nuts. So that's about it. Please comment on the Rhine. That's really what I'm interested in. Comment on anything. Please don't call other people names on my channel. Call me what you like. But 299.6 pounds on the scales this morning. That's my achievement for the year, I guess. I've probably got another 20 pounds to go. I have experimented by trying to slow down my weight loss because it was incredibly rapid in the early days. I mean, it was scary. That's why I phoned the doctor and had a blood test and everything, because I lost so much in such a short time. And it has steadied down, and I have eaten some carbs and desserts, but I'm very cautious. I don't eat every day like that. I generally eat meat and veg. Cheese, I'm eating more meat than I've ever eaten. I certainly haven't eaten anything you would consider vegan or vegetarian. Well, apart from veg, of course, my salads, but not as a vegan or vegetarian meal. Mainly because a lot of that is proprietary manufactured, and it's full of poison. And we know that's a video in its own right. When did we decide that the food industry had the right to feed us with poison? With the government's blessing. It is a government, it's the health people that bless all this chemical in food. So that's all I'm going to say. No, I'm not. I've got more to say. Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes is on my bucket list to visit. So if you're from Milton Keynes, I'm going to come down for a visit. It's not an easy place to access by rail for some reason, when you consider the fact it's at the start of the M1 going into London from here. But I will use a train to get there. This is a direct National Express. I've never done that. But yeah, Milton Keynes, you've got the the red ways. Don't know if, let's have a look and see a map. So there's the map of Milton Keynes. First cycling city purposely built, although I think there's another city or town that has that claim, maybe Nuneaton, I'm not sure, that claims to be a fine cycling place. Let me know. So Milton Keynes is on the list. If you're from Milton Keynes, let me know. I mean, I want to write, there's a steeped in history, Milton Keynes is. I know it's a new town, but the actual area is steeped in history. There's a lot of history to see. There's history routes and tourist routes. Let me know, please, because that's on my bucket list. That'll be hotel though, I won't be camping. And I'll see you on the next video, which I think will be today's coffee outside. And if you've stuck it out to the end, thank you for listening. Please comment. Please email me at nottinghamshiremadness@yahoo.com, or look at the Facebook group Nottinghamshire Madness by Andrew Marshall. Please comment. Please keep it clean and respectful. And I know my subscribers will do that. It's the others. Thank you, guys.